Hi, everybody. It's a little after 5, and I wanted to just reach out and get you my message for the week. Try to keep it short. First of all, I wanted to reiterate how important it is with the social distancing that we've been practicing. I wanted to remind you to not lose all the investment that we've put forward for the social distancing by just blowing it and shaking hands with the wrong person or hugging the wrong person, or whatever, because sometimes people just don't get it, and we've got to all do our part. I mean, we've gone this far, so let's make sure that we're doing all the right things. It's a lot of work trying to get things separated, and it's not fun, it's not easy, but we're all in this together, so we got to do it. So anyway, don't jeopardize what we've put together, and try to take it seriously. Also, I wanted to reiterate that we need to plan ahead and be aware of what's going on. So for instance, if you're having a closing, you need to let your buyer know ahead of time. Hopefully you have information for their cash at closing ahead of time, because hopefully the title company is moving quickly and the lender's moving quickly, and we all know how much they need to bring, and then they have time to go to the bank and actually get their funds, however they're going to do it, because most banks are closed. That makes it a little tricky. So the drive-thrus are open, but just have them contact their banks to figure out how they're going to do this, so they're not caught in a bad moment a couple hours before closing, and then everybody's stressing out. So anyway, be aware of that. The courthouse is closed. I've heard a little, I think there's some, I don't know if it's confusion, but it's concern. What happens with the deeds if the courthouse is closed? Well, the title company send the deeds via, they send them electronically, so they're in queue. I don't know exactly how that all happens. There's a little mystery there, but the deed is delivered. It's just we don't know exactly how long it's going to take to record. So things are still closing. And so I wouldn't be too worried about that, at least at this point. I did speak with Land Title. I know Fidelity Title, their doors are locked. I think most of the title companies are appointment only. Speaking with Cassie, she said they are getting everything out at least 24 hours before closing, getting as much signed electronically as possible, and they're trying to make this as fluid as possible. They're making it as minimal as possible what the notary has to take care of. There's no sitting in the lobby. They're keeping people in separate spaces. They're getting rid of all the pens and candy and things like that. And so if you go in there and you want some water, some food, they'll serve you, but they don't want you putting your hands in stuff, and that's really smart. So that leads me to my next thing about being aware. For instance, if you're at our office and you are having a private meeting in the back conference room, especially the back conference room because it's kind of out of sight, please let the front desk know, whether you text them or email them, just say, I just had a meeting, please let them know, because they have to go and sanitize the area. So we're doing the same thing, removing pens, removing things. So just be really careful about sanitizing things. Earnest money. The title companies are coming up with a new app. So basically what it'll be is we download the app, have our own account, we get an earnest money on a contract. We can take pictures, basically like you do with your bank. You can deposit it via your phone. So that eliminates that use of handling money and having to walk it down there, and just So anyway, there might be some. I think there's going to be some things that come out of this that are going to make our jobs a little easier. So I'm trying to look at the bright side. Let's see. So regarding our business, basically, things are pretty busy right now. I know Tiffany and Sade are keeping busy, and we're all. I'm busy. I'm at home. I'm busy doing stuff. It's a good time to organize and make sure that our systems are right. But there's a lot of business going on. I know that I spoke with Tracy today. She got a deal under. Preston got a deal under. I have a listing out in Pueblo West. I've got multiple offers in one day. And I know, Laura, for instance, she's in a multiple offer situation with a buyer. Please let me know how you guys are doing. So, I really consider ourselves lucky because we're not. I mean, just think of it. I feel so sorry for the people that have restaurants and bars and salons and things like that that are getting completely shut down, and the government saying, "Go home. You can't do business anymore." We are still able to, at least at this point, do business, and we're able to, work electronically, work, remotely. And so if you need to get in touch with your clients, use, maybe Skype, go to meetings, Zoom. I know those, we were trying to do a Zoom meeting yesterday, but we had bad something, and I got kicked off the meeting anyway, but I think when it's just two people, you're probably pretty safe. So those are things that, because sometimes you just really want to talk face to face, and sometimes a phone conversation or a text just isn't good enough. So maybe we'll get good at these things and get comfortable with them. So that's another thing that we should be doing. I have heard of a few things going south. So we have to be on top of these things, and we want to just close as many deals as we can. Just hopefully close everything that we've got under contract. But I've heard a few stories where people are kind of getting a little squirrely, and sometimes it's just not in good faith. And so I guess what I want to leave you with today is, hey, good faith is important. It's what fills in all the gaps with our real estate contracts. I've got one agent who's got a deal, and she's got the seller. The buyer he's getting squirrely because he sees that he might have hardship down the road, and he's wanting the seller to give him concessions in case he loses money because he wants to rent his property. It's the contract's not contingent on his business plan. So anyway, it's cooler heads have to prevail. I think we need to do everything in our power to keep emotions at bay, try to get these deals closed if at all possible, work with people, try to understand that people are scared, and and again, just work in good faith, and try to make good things happen. On the other side of things, I come into realization that living alone and kind of being alone, not being at the office every day, it's kind of taking a toll on me. I realize I'm a huge hugger, and so I decided that there's really nobody around here to hug. I hug my dogs, and I have a tree outside, so I thought maybe tomorrow I'll go hug my tree, and then I'll be a bona fide tree hugger. And then also I'm trying to come up with a new cocktail since the weekend's coming. It's empty right now. And it's going to be called the Quarantini. And I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to put into it. Cassie gave me a good idea. She says, well, it's basically whatever you have on your shelf. And I think that's fitting. So that'll be the Quarantini. I'll let you guys know. But anyway, I miss you guys. I hope you have a good weekend. I hope that things come together quickly, and remember, I'm just a phone call away, and I hope you guys are all well. Take care of yourself. Bye.